The Apostle Paul had such an affection for the church at Thessalonica. In fact, in one of his earliest letters, 1 Thessalonians, written about AD 54, he writes these words. In 1 Thessalonians 2, verse 8, having so fond an affection for you, we were well pleased to impart to you not only the gospel of God, but also our own lives, because you had become very dear to us. It's this 5-chapter letter that shows the heart of Paul for this early church. The first chapter is full of thanksgiving for who they were and what they had done. He then gets into chapter 2 describing his ministry among them. We know that Paul stayed for about 3 weeks with this church when he visited with them. And now he's writing from Corinth to encourage the church in some particular aspects. First, to remain faithful to the gospel. He reminded them that their labor of love and their work of faith and their steadfastness in hope would not be disregarded or forgotten, but that it was actually a commendation of what God had done through them, that all the surrounding areas knew about their faithfulness to God. And so just as Paul was encouraging this church, so we should encourage one another to continue to be faithful to the gospel. Second, Paul encourages them with Timothy as he sent Timothy to witness to them and strengthen them. He encouraged them to treat him well and to send other brothers to be faithful to the ministry. He said in verse 7, for this reason, brethren, in all our distress and affliction, we were comforted about you through your faith. He says, Timothy has given us a good report of you. For now we really live, if you stand firm in the Lord. For what thanks can we render to God for you in return for all the joy with which we rejoice before our God on your account? And so he is again encouraging this church. This is a letter of commendation, not correction. Verse 13, he reminds them that the Lord would cause them to increase and abound in love for one another, so that he may establish your hearts without blame and holiness before our God and Father. And then chapter 4 then moves to an encouragement concerning the return of Jesus Christ. He expresses how they should live quiet he says, make it your ambition to lead a quiet life, attend to your own business, work with your hands just as we commanded you, so you will behave properly toward outsiders and not be in any need. And this was very important because the correction to the church was that many in the church knew that Jesus was returning, so many of them just stopped working. They stopped doing what they were supposed to be doing, and they just focused on, hey, Jesus is coming one day, so let's sit and wait for him to appear. And Paul's correction here lovingly is, hey, you've been working, you've been serving, don't stop. Until God returns, we should be busy about the call upon our lives that he has given us. And so he tells his church, work with your hands, lead a quiet life, lead a simple life, and make sure that everything you do is one of love. And then he expresses, there is coming a day. I don't want you to be uninformed, brethren, concerning the return of Jesus Christ. He says, if we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so God will bring with him those who have fallen asleep in Christ. This was a great reminder that everyone who has already passed is present with the Lord right now and will come at the time of the rapture. Now, the word rapture is not used in this text. The word rapture is never used in the Bible, but the implication of that, the truth, the message of the rapture is he uses the phrase the coming of the Lord. He says that then we who are alive and remain will be caught up together. That's what rapture means, to be caught up together with the Lord in the sky. And so the book of 1 Thessalonians is a reminder. Stay focused on the gospel of Jesus Christ. Be encouraged in that. Stay true to work until he comes, and keep your eyes to the sky as you're working today. Know that Christ could come today, tomorrow, or very, very soon. And that message of hope makes 1 Thessalonians worth reading.